Welcome to Aceco Tech Talk number 7. Aceco AceLock Head General Guidelines and Specifications. Always use proper personal protection equipment when working with wood tooling and machinery. Anytime a head is to be removed or installed, pressure checked or inspected, follow lockout, tagout procedures. This video contains 3 segments. Number 1, specifications and tolerances. Number 2, head inspection. Number 3, head installations and removal. Torque specifications specific for molder and planer heads. Clean all gibs, knife pockets, and knives with an evaporating solvent. Lubricate threads of gib screws with anti-seize lubricant. Do not allow anti-seize to get on the knife or any mounting surfaces such as the gib, end of gib screws, pocket faces, etc. Using a calibrated torque wrench, make sure all gib screws are tightened to the proper values and done in the proper sequence. Torque specifications for finger joint head. Using a calibrated torque wrench, make sure all finger joint head nuts are tightened in proper torquing sequence. For 3/4 inch bolts, a maximum of 250 foot-pounds is recommended. For 9/16 bolts, a maximum of 140 foot-pounds or 190 Newton meters is recommended. Over-tightening can result in bolt and/or head damage. Under-tightening can cause cutter rollback and possible head damage. Torque wrenches should be tested for correct calibration at regular intervals. Cleaning specifications for finger joint head. Before reposting, grinding, or disassembly, clean all knives, head surfaces, and bolts with a cleaning solution. Aceco recommends Blade Clean brand cleaner when cleaning AceLock heads and knives. Using the wrong chemicals can deteriorate the O-rings. After cleaning, balancing, and reinstalling the knives, install the top plate and lubricate the threads of all the finger joint head bolts, nuts, and washers with anti-seize lubricant. Caution: do not allow anti-seize to get on the knife or any mounting surfaces. Correct spindle size and clearance specifications for hydraulic tooling. Ensure proper spindle size before setting tool in place. Using a micrometer with 1/10,000th graduations, measure the spindle at the top, middle, and bottom at 60-degree intervals. Nominal spindle size for Aceco heads is plus 0.0000 of an inch to minus 0.00005/10,000ths of an inch. Total clearance between the spindle and the bore of the head cannot exceed 3/1000ths of an inch or 0.076 millimeters for keyless spindles. Clearance for keyed shafts cannot exceed 2/1000ths of an inch or 0.050 millimeters. Head inspection. Check the pressure of the head at least once per shift and more frequently when ambient temperature changes significantly throughout the day. Note the pressure recommendation on the flange of the sleeve. Do not exceed maximum pressure stamped on the flange. Check head pressure using a calibrated grease gun. Use only NLGI2 rated grease when pressurizing the heads. Inspect head for grease seepage around sleeve and inlet relief fittings when checking head pressure. If any seepage is detected, do not run the head. Never leave an unpressurized head installed on a spindle. Never install or pressurize a head that is not properly sized for the spindle. Never install an AceLock head on a keyed spindle that has not been fitted with a specially hardened sleeve. The standard sleeve could deform around the keyway and render the head unusable. Inspect the internal bore of the head for damage, burrs, or embedded foreign matter. Any burrs or embedded material can be removed using a small round honing stone and emery cloth. Do not use emery cloth on a split dowel or break ball hone and drill to remove burrs. This will remove excess material and could compromise the clamping ability of the hydraulic sleeve in the head. Always lift and carry hydraulic heads. Do not slide across any surface. Damage to the bottom of the hydraulic sleeve may result. Aceco recommends Blade Clean brand cleaner when cleaning ACE-lock heads. Using the wrong chemicals can deteriorate the O-rings. Always use anti-seize compound on all bolt threads, washers, and nuts before torquing. Ensure the proper grease fitting is used when being replaced. There are two industry standards, 1/8 by 27 NPT and 10 millimeter. Although the two threads are similar in size and will fit in the opening, they cannot be interchanged. Installation of the wrong fitting will result in a mismatch of threads, compromising the ability to form the proper seal. Never sandblast heads or cutters, damage will result. Head installation. Verify that the machine has been powered down and is locked out and tagged out. Clean the machine spindle with a shop towel and solvent, alcohol or acetone, to remove oil and dirt before removing or installing the head on the spindle. Clean the internal bore and the bottom of the head to remove any oil and dirt. Open the pressure release valve to relieve residual grease pressure that may have built up due to an increase in temperature. Do not drop the head. If the head does not freely seat on the bottom flange of the spindle, stop and remove the head from the spindle. Do not force the head down on the spindle. Damage to the head and spindle will result. Close the pressure release valve with the correct size Allen wrench. Do not over-tighten. Before pressurizing the head, clean the inlet fitting on the head and the hydraulic coupling on the end of the grease gun before mating the two. Dirt on the fitting or coupling could be pumped into the head, preventing the inlet valve from sealing properly, causing a slow loss of pressure and eventual head failure during operation. Use only NLGI2 rated grease when pressurizing the heads. Pressurize the head to the specified value. You will find the correct value stenciled into the flange of the sleeve. Release the hose pressure and remove the hose from the head. Clean excess grease from around the inlet and pressure release valve with a cotton swab. Always use a lock collar on hydraulic tooling. If a bottom lock collar is used, rotate the head until the lock collar pins engage in the receptacles on the bottom of the head. Head removal. Clean exposed spindle area above the head with shop towel and solvent to remove any dirt or foreign matter. Remove the top lock collar. Release pressure by opening release valve with the correct Allen wrench. Using a too small Allen wrench will eventually round out the set screw and the valve will become inoperable and need to be replaced. Lift head slowly straight up, place on a clean, smooth surface.
From all of us here in Boise, Idaho, we'd like to thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something.